Alright, so I have a quick rant for the day. Nintendo just ordered for the cancellation of the Big House Online, which is an online Melee and Smash Ultimate tournament. It's a Smash Brothers tournament. Uh, as you can see, the Big House is heartbroken to share we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House Online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted. The issue with something like this, is that it doesn't benefit Nintendo and it hurts everyone in the Smash Brothers competitive scene. Not just Melee players, because look, Ultimate had to get canceled as well, and even if Ultimate didn't get canceled, it still kind of hurts Ultimate because a lot of the people that get into competitive Smash is because of the Smash Brothers documentary, and the Smash Brothers documentary is about Melee, and Melee is kind of like the gateway to competitive Smash in a sense. That since it's so fast paced, exciting, and it has all the cool characters like Mango and people Mango, but yeah, like personally me, I got into competitive Smash by watching Mango, Leffen, Mewtwo King. Though that's why I play competitive Smash. That's why I bought Smash 4. That's why I bought Smash Ultimate. This is the reason why I play competitive Smash. It's because of Melee. And the reason why I still play Melee is because of Slippy. I wouldn't still be playing Melee if it weren't for Slippy. I would have just stopped. Like, I legitimately would have stopped playing Melee. Well, not stopped, like, permanently, but, I wouldn't be playing... It wouldn't be such a big part of the games that I... It wouldn't be such a... Like, it wouldn't be one of the main games that I play if it weren't for Slippy. I'd probably only be playing, like, Among Us right now. Or even, like, Paladins. Like, I don't get why... Like, if it weren't for Slippy, I would not be playing Melee. Now, of course, Slippy's also part of the reason why I no longer play Ultimate, but that's beside the point. Uh, the point being that the main portion of, like, competitive Smash Brothers is Melee. The people who play Melee play it competitively. They don't play it casually. Uh, and most people who do play it casually are usually just casual gamers across the board. Like, they're just playing it because they played it as kids and they want to play it again now. But I'd venture to say like 90% of the people who still play Melee to this day are competitive people, or competitive players who use Slippy. Whereas, Ultimate's a bit more balanced. Obviously, a lot more balanced because obviously it's the newest game on the newest console. And it's not, a lot of people would argue that it's not as competitively viable as Melee. Uh, but whatever. I mean, the online sucks, especially during the pandemic. It was a pain just trying to play casual matches against people, let alone a whole tournament. And something like Slippy, it forced Nintendo to improve the online for Ultimate, so they were ready to play both Melee and Ultimate, and all of a sudden Nintendo says, "Yep, you can't do that. You can't play the games and basically give us free promotion on Twitch." Like, I don't get why they wouldn't do that. Like, you're just browsing, like, just imagine the average person just browsing through Twitch and they see, oh, the Big House Online. What's that? Oh, it's a Smash Brothers tournament. They see, Zane and IBDW, and Zane bodying IBDW, and Ginger and Nun and Mango. Like, they watch these events that could get them into then saying, oh, this is Melee. Let me see Ultimate, and it causes them, or maybe even people who used to play the game, and they stop playing it. I know Slippy caused a lot of people, a lot of players to come out of like retirement, and not really come out of retirement and play competitively again, but come back to playing the game just that they like playing because they can actually play it online without it lagging every 5 seconds because of Slippy. Like, I don't see what they gain from this. And I get like, oh well, Slippy has to be run on an emulator instead of like domestic hardware. So obviously that makes people more inclined to pirate the game, pirate ISOs on the internet. Um, but I mean, yeah, that is illegal. The game's 19 years old though. Like, it's not like if somebody pirates the game, you're not losing money. And even if you were, the loss of money is peanuts compared to the potential loss of money, considering that a lot of people like IBDW, a good portion of the top players in Melee are saying that they're never going to buy another Nintendo product again. Like, this isn't good. And this is, like, I get, okay, well, Smash isn't that big of a competitive scene, so it's not like they're going to lose that much money. Okay, fair. But you're telling me they lose more money if they don't put this out from pirating ISOs? And this doesn't even stop people from pirating ISOs. It just, like, I don't get why they're doing this. This, something like the Big House Online is good for Nintendo. I don't get why they'd want to ban the streaming of this game. It just doesn't make any sense. But the biggest issue with this is that it sets a really poor precedent on what these game companies are allowed to do with their games in terms of the competitive scene. Like, if Nintendo does this, what's stopping, any other company like EA? I mean, EA is a terrible company. They're the scum of the earth. You think if Nintendo does this, you think they're just not going to do that? They're going to say, yeah, like, I understand different companies, they actually invest in their competitive scenes, but what about companies that don't? And even if they say, oh, well, we're not going to do that because obviously they invest money into the scene, they still could do it because Nintendo could do it. It's not really like, the issue's not that, oh, companies like Riot Games or Epic Games or whatever, not that they will, like, stop stuff like this, but it's the fact that now they have the ability to do something, and that's scary because, yeah, maybe those specific companies won't, but there are other companies, maybe new companies that are on the rise, where people even, like, Epic Games. Did people even care about Epic Games before Fortnite? Yeah, obviously, obviously big companies, they didn't just spawn into the realm of the marketplace as big companies. They obviously started out small, so future companies that are small now, they might get bigger later. Who's to stop them from destroying their competitive scenes like Nintendo does? This sets such a terrible precedent that we need to stop. We need to actually get this reversed. I mean, this has happened before. People might be like, oh, that's such a naive way of thinking. This has happened. This isn't the first time this has happened. Nintendo's tried to cancel Melee tournament, 2013, EVO 2013. They tried to cancel it, they told EVO not to stream it. It became the #1 story on Reddit, and within the next few hours, they reversed the ban. And the only reason Melee was even at EVO, they had to raise almost $100,000 to go to breast cancer awareness just for the game to be able to be streamed. Just for it to be at EVO, just for 1 year, at the very least. And then Nintendo comes along and says, nope, we don't want you to exist at all. Melee was a dying game. Brawl was the main game at the time. And obviously Nintendo wants Brawl to be big because that's their latest product. That's what they're making their money off of. I get that. But you're going to completely delete the previous game's core audience? That core audience, that helps your new games. That gets people interested in the newest Smash game. When somebody joins... if somebody were to say, hey, I want to play Melee, and then in 5 years, the next Smash re-energized, or whatever it's going to be called, comes out, people are going to be like, ooh, I want to try that game. Because I got into Melee, I want to see what this game's like. That's why something like this is bad. Because it's preventing people from coming into Melee, and then, since people aren't coming into Melee, they won't go from Melee to then the next game, or at least buy the next game. Because I know most top Melee players bought Smash Ultimate. They may not play it, but they purchased it. Nintendo's already has their money. It doesn't matter whether they play Ultimate or not. They have the money, they're fine. But when you get rid of that first stage of first getting people into the community through like content creators and big tournament organizers like this, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. There's nothing good that comes out of this. Only bad. Only your entire competitive fan base turning against you. That's all that comes out of this. You don't gain money, you just lose fans and respect from everybody.